So we have another CivStory. You clicked on the video, I assume. So, I should explain. So, a CivStory is basically a Civ playthrough where I try to make up the story. Interesting. Of the civilization as I play the game. We have randomed China. I'm just gonna talk about their bonuses a bit to start with. So I do gameplay at the end of every era, but when every era is going through, I will try and tell a story about the civilization, the life and times of its people. We have First Emperor, so ancient and classical wonders, we get 15% of their cost with a builder. Builders get an additional charge, so that is 60% of a wonder per builder. We get canals at the masonry technology. I feel like that should actually be attached to dynastic cycle, but whatever. We're getting plus 10% on Eurekas and Inspirations, which is good in the mod that I'm playing because the tech rate will be much slower, and I've got double cost Civics as well. Crouching Tiger, again modded, it's going to replace the crossbowman. The Great Wall, they keep changing this, so it's 2 gold, plus gold if adjacent, plus culture and tourism. So the tourism is tied to the culture, which in turn is how many adjacent that you have. So my question with that, okay, so let's get up Crouching Tiger. Oh, button. So, yeah, replaces crossbowman, upgrades to field cannon, upgrade from archer. I believe it's just 10 extra range strength, but it's only got 1 range. Yeah. So 50 ranged is like not quite. Okay. The Great Wall, I'm just going to double check it is tourism is based on 100% tourism from culture. Oh, plus 2 culture from each adjacent. Okay. So each tile is going to be 4. We're kind of geared towards a tourism win. We've got a tourism improvement. Dynastic cycle will help a little. We've obviously got the ancient wonders as well, but we'll see how the game plays. In terms of starting position, the best tile is the silk tile, 2, 2, and 1. But I don't see any water down there. I might move. Okay, we don't want tundra if we can avoid tundra. And we don't have a Golden Gate Bridge location, which would be bad for your first city anyway. So what I really want to do is settle near the silk. But if there's no housing, I'm gonna settle over here. I think that's my strategy. Because I don't want to settle, like, these tiles, oh, actually, the copper is decent. It's not great for our purposes. We could just buy the silk tile, and then we've got 2 good tiles. Those are literally the only 2 good tiles I can see. Alright, I want to investigate this way. Fuck. I mean, didn't say that word. this. So I would expect more coast. So like this is probably a coastal tile, and if this is not a coastal tile, that means there's a coastal tile here. Both of those options are kind of getting away. Spicy. Let us... I usually like to show the first few moves. I mean, ideally there'll be something here, but I don't think there is. That's 1, 2, 3. 1 to get to here, potentially 2 to go around. And we can settle over here as a backup. I really don't want to settle in place. These are some atrocious yields. Oh, it's even saying over here would be fine. Taking a risk. Okay. Is this like a one tile? What is this? Yeah, it's gonna... Oh, this is a water tile, this is a water tile. I assume. Not good. Not good. I mean, I gambled, so I will live with the consequences. I don't really want to waste too many turns going over here. At least, if I'm over here, I'm 1, 2, a little further away from the tundra. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to settle second city. Okay, so there's someone down here. Noted. I think I pretty much have to settle this hill. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. And this, and this. 4 tundra tiles, not great. No good initial tiles, but okay. Interesting. Lots of land over here that I wasn't expecting. Next question, do we move for... Okay, so if we move down here, we're going to get a +4 harbour, +5 with a district here. And we'll just use the gold. And it also gets us away from up here. Although putting a dam in here might be useful, potentially. Not a dam, a canal, because we have canals early. That could work too. We get slightly closer to this 2-2 tile, which is nice. If I do build a harbour here, can't really get a wonder out of it. Like I can, but I'm killing a crab, which I don't think I want to do because there's going to be a +5 harbour, and that harbour is probably going to be basically our main source. 1, 2, 3. We might get a dozen tile on here as well. Also, we are currently abandoning any luxuries. Oh man, this is... I don't like where the city is. You only, like, if I canaled this industrial zone on the marsh, that's a useful industrial zone. Harbour. No, I like... I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for the harbour, the killer harbour. Okay, now let's move. Hoping that's a city-state, ideally. What is that? I've lost 3 turns. Oh man. Well, I'm definitely committing to this now. Okay. First build. I feel like we're a little behind. We want wonders. We cannot build the Great Bath. I think we'll go for animal husbandry. It's going to reveal 2 things. Or... What did you just say? Oh, sailing's here. Sailing doesn't reveal any wonders. I want to find where the wonders are. I think that's the plan. May as well find out who this is. Granada! That is good for culture. That is very good for culture. Okay, cool. I'm going to end the sort of mini playthrough there. We have shuffle on. So hoping for horses or like stuff, wonder stuff. Don't really have much options here. Everything leads to something. Yeah, interesting. No dead ends. No dead ends. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Literally just this one to progress to the... That's going to be an interesting medieval era. Alright, I am down though. Cool. What a shuffle. Anyway, we will check back in for some story elements and then do some strategy at the end of the Ancient Era. So early on in the Ancient Era, we have the city of Fengkao. Fengkao was established, it was believed to be the oldest capital site of the Chinese people. It was established by the crabs that you can see here. These crabs were used, that sort of claws were used as a form of currency in very, very early Chinese history, hence the city of Fengkao becoming relatively prosperous compared to the rest of the area. Anyway, that's the story of the founding of Fengkao. So, in the middle part of the Ancient Era, we have the founding of the city of Chengdu. Chengdu is founded, its meaning is that it's the place that appears to be close to heaven in the Chinese mythology. You've got some nearby reefs, you've got the wheat, obviously some silk up here. One of the reasonings for this was that the migrants from Fenghao had to cross quite a way to get to the fertile region known as Chengdu. In actuality, the migrants went through the desert. This upper, more northern route through the plains was occupied by barbarian peoples, which you can see down there. The migrants went through Granada, which was friendly, and then ended up at Chengdu, which you can see here. So, towards the end of the ancient era, we have our first known Chinese ruler, known as Wu Ding, or Chinese statesman, perhaps would be more accurate. It's kind of unknown how large an area Wu Ding managed to control. His exploits are mostly known about through the Oracle script, which is written on bones which have survived up in the mountains in the caves. And he is said to have defeated the Dong Yi in battle eventually. And while defeating the Dong Yi, they sent envoys out to the Zhirong. So the Zhirong also sent an invasion force. But for Wu Ding, he managed to get some mercenaries from Chengdu and combined his forces behind a forest, waiting for the forces of the Zhirong to appear. Do the forces of Zhirong appear? They do. Also, I forgot about this battle over here. The Egyptians requested Chinese assistance over here and received it. And by requested, I mean I was just exploring over here and this barb encampment turned up, leaving me with no choice but to sort of be on the hill. Oh man. So, the Zhirong warriors did appear, however, so did some scouts out of the desert. Anyway, this is the final defeat of the Dong Yi. Or not the final defeat, but a defeat. Cool. Cool. What do I do with these guys? I would rather... Yeah, I would rather fight with some defensive modifiers. So, with the Zhirong appearing through the forest in greater numbers than was expected, Wu Ding retreated into another forest. And we expect the barbarians... Cool. We expect the barbarians, to appear again. At this point in the forest, Wu Ding realized he could not really retreat any further. Resulting in a battle which began with the Chinese launching missiles at the barbarian left over Chinese right. Yeah, let's move on and do that. Pretty much have to do that. In the meantime, the Chinese mercenaries obviously did well there. The Zhirong... Oh, we're not Poland. Cool. opted to attack the Chinese left with their stronger. So the side that the Chinese elected not to attack there. Which health? 64, you can take another hit. Then some reinforcements from the Battle of Dongyi came down to assist in the Zhirong attempted lifting of the Dongyi siege, which is obviously unsuccessful. Leaving the Zhirong, so attempted retreat was ambushed by the battle-hardened veterans of Dongyi. I don't know if you're gonna live. And finally, the Zhirong. Oh, we've got the Grenadans helping us out. Yep, so the Zhirong. So upon becoming outnumbered 3-1 with the Dongyi reinforcements, the Zhirong attempted to flee the battlefield but were ultimately destroyed. And the leader, who was overseeing the battle, was not quite eliminated, but was chased down. Anyway, that is the story of Wu Ding. Late in the ancient era now, and we have the settlement of Jimo. Jimo is founded on the Qingha Lake next to the eye of the Sahara, as you can see. Jimo is also about halfway, not directly halfway, between Korea and China. Jimo is settled to be an administrative area to try to gain control over the Escalante Desert, which you can see, and obviously the Qingha Lake. Oh. Yes, all that desert dust was really getting to me. Jimo was envisioned as being like a trading center. However, a position closer to Gwangju of Korea. So sort of the eastern side of the Qingha Lake was occupied by Koreans already, whereas Jimo was not really occupied by any particular traders. So the Chinese opted to settle there. And it is in the middle of a desert, but there are a few sheep in the area, which allowed Jimo to sustain a local population for the time being, at least, assuming it doesn't rebel.